So good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. It is Tuesday, May 4, 3, 4, 5, 10, 14. It's a 5 vibration today. It's a day about growth, learning, and understanding. And today's topic is about understanding yourself and ways in which you hide from yourself, the things that we use to hide ourselves, which is an interesting topic because as I teach spirituality, it's all about the difference between our spiritual side and our ego side, and what that means in reference to how we understand our ego and how we understand our spirit. My personal hiding out method of operation is food, actually. I never think I'm as fat as I am until I see myself in a video. I was watching those videos on Facebook with Pat McMahon, and I thought, holy mackerel. And I learned how to use food as a tool to make myself feel better a long time ago, when I was a kid, actually. And the interesting thing about being overweight is you actually disappear, because people never say to someone that's fat, oh my gosh, you're so fat, you need to lose weight. However, if you're losing weight or you're thin, people say to you, oh, you're so thin, or oh, you've lost weight. And so being thin actually makes you appear. So people who have a problem keeping weight on are people that feel like they've disappeared in life. And people who are too heavy are people who want to disappear in life. There is a difference. And I tell myself all kinds of stories as I hide out in that kind of a condition. And that is that I am stressed and I deal with people all day who are in grief and have lost children to suicide and drug addiction or murder, or I'm dealing with people who've had all kinds of trauma. And so I justify the way that I hide out. It is a way that I do not give myself my own essence of credibility, and I negate myself. And that's what we're talking about. What does your ego do to negate you? There's other ways that we do that. There are obvious ways, like, drugs and alcohol, where you're moving through life in an anesthetized condition and you're saying to yourself, I just don't drink that much. But you actually do, and you're actually hiding out from yourself while you're drinking every day, or you're using something to stimulate you or to help you to sleep, or whatever you're doing. It's a form of hiding out. We hide out in so many ways, it's not even funny. I've made myself a list as I sat here this morning. How about the liars in life? They're hiding out from the truth, always telling something in an exaggerated sense in order to make themselves feel better. They don't have a grasp on the reality of who they are, so they lie about it. Now listen, we are all human beings and we all have our own failings and foibles for sure. And we all have ways that we negate our greatness. That's the whole goal on the earth plane, is to find one's greatness, to stay in a place of empowerment, to embrace the totality of the gift of who you are, God-given, that essence of your spirit that makes you so big and wonderful and beautiful and magnificent. But there are so many ways we negate that. How about using God, though, as a form of hiding from yourself? Yeah, people use God all the time to hide from themselves, to create judgment towards others, to make up ideas of who somebody else is from, the idea that God holds judgment. Do you really think that God holds judgment? Maybe he holds judgment on 15% of the population. All the gay people in the world are going to be thrown into hell. Is that the way that you believe God thinks, from some text in an ancient word that was written before there was a level of understanding of any of that? Do you use that to lie to yourself, to maintain prejudice and fear? How about lying to yourself about spirituality? Are you that kind of person that says that, your spirit guide or your guardian angel has been telling you one thing or another, rather than stepping up to the plate and giving yourself that gift of free will that God has given to you? How do you actually hide out from yourself? How about this one, what we do as a society with politics? We hide out with some kind of a political agenda without understanding or coming together and finding a place where we can communicate or collaborate. I put something about we can agree to disagree on a Facebook post, and someone sarcastically said, yeah, I've got 2 shovels and a pail too that I'm willing to share. I wrote back and said, well, let's start digging. Sarcasm is another way that we hide out from the reality of looking at ourselves and our shadow. How about the way we hide behind the Second Amendment? Interesting, when there was poison put in Tylenol years ago, they changed the way that medicines were packaged. It's like getting into Fort Knox to get into medicine these days, right? Or some guy got on a plane with a bomb in his shoe, and we now have to take our shoes off on the plane. But we all hide behind that Second Amendment, don't we? That right to bear arms in order for us to say it's okay that somebody has an automatic weapon. Which is it? Who do we want to protect, and how do we want to protect? Hey, I'm a gun owner. I'm not saying you can't have guns. I'm just saying, how about some balance here, understanding our shadow and our light? How about the people who hide behind the idea of who they are in a fantasy world, or those who just want to sit and read all the time? How about the people who are TV watchers? How are they hiding? What is it that you do to hide from yourself and from the world, and why? And I have a little article here, 10 ways we hide from the world and why we need to be seen. A little bit different than my own little talk here. But here are some of the ways that we hide according to a Michelle D'Avella, I think. And number 1, we don't give our opinion because it's different from what other people are saying. You know, it's really a matter of having emotional courage to be able to talk about things that are controversial and try to hold certain things into the light. How about the 14th Amendment? Do you know what that is? This is something that we need to be really looking at right now between us as human beings and our fellow human beings. Number 2, we avoid eye contact or look away once initial eye contact is made. If you've ever had somebody that looks away from you and they don't hold eye contact, they're hiding from something within themselves. Again, usually we're hiding from our own greatness, the greatness of who we could be as a society, the greatness of how God can shine light upon all of us, each and every one, no matter what gender orientation, no matter what color, no matter what religion, one God holding light for all of us. Number 3, we speak very softly and timidly. Somebody that you have to stretch to listen to. Is it that they want attention or they don't? Have you ever thought of that? How about the person that's a constant hypochondriac? What about that person? What are they hiding from? Maybe just participating in life, right? Number 4, we slouch and hunch over in an effort to shrink ourselves down. That's something that's Bill's pet peeve. It's about posture. Everybody thinks that Bill is taller than he is, but he's actually a short guy. But his posture is so amazing that everybody adds a couple of inches to him, or maybe it's just his energy. We wait for other people to initiate. In conversations, we don't offer up anything about our own feelings, lives, interests, or thoughts. We decline invitation to parties, to dinners, to coffee, to anything new. We tell ourselves stories about people. We don't have to like them and inevitably let them in. What? Wait a minute. I think I read that wrong. We tell ourselves stories about people. So I left that word out. You know, it would help if I put my glasses on. And there you go. We tell ourselves stories about people so we don't have to like them and inevitably let them in. There's a certain person that I have not liked, and I've said it to Bill. And then I really analyzed it yesterday and thought, oh, it's not that I don't like this person. It's that this person represents something that I wish that I could do sometimes. Yeah. So I was hiding from myself on that. This morning, Bill and I had a talk about that because that kind of realization is important to share. And you share it with somebody you trust, and you should trust your husband. And if you don't, then you're hiding from yourselves. Number 9, we don't tell the truth to others. We don't tell the truth to ourselves. So How are you inhibiting your ability to find greatness, to not be in judgment, to find balance and harmony, to find a way to use common sense spirituality or common sense religious principles that allow other people to also be who they are in their own level of greatness? How do you live and let live? What ways do you hide from yourself? Do you tell yourselves a story? You know, as a life coach, I have people that come to me regularly. Those are the courageous people in the planet, because it's the people who are emotionally courageous and who are basically healthy in their own ways that seek out some kind of a life coaching or counseling from someone else. Those who don't, they're hiding from themselves. I'm not saying that you spend time in counseling for the rest of your life, but I'm saying if that you have an issue that you're hiding out from and you haven't gone to a counselor or gone to look at it and take care of it and understand it, and then you're in a place of hiding. So, let's see, Mindy, I have Joe Fiel with me daily. Okay. Good. So, what ways do you hide, and are you willing to admit it? You know, I told you how I hide. It's a work in progress every day, and that work in progress every day is called life. I hope you're living it. Have a great day.